Most guitarists are holding the pick wrong, and the frustrating part is they don't realize that's why everything feels harder. If your picking feels stiff, sloppy, weak, awkward, or like you've got no control when you speed up, there's a good chance it's not your talent, it's not your guitar, it's just the way you're holding your pick. And the mad thing is, this is one of the easiest things to fix once you know what to look for. So in this video, I'm going to show you the common mistakes, why they cause problems, and what to do instead. The real problem? Now, first of all, let me say this, there isn't only one way to hold a pick. If you look at loads of great guitar players, they all do slightly different things. So this isn't about saying there is one perfect magical grip that everyone must use. It's more that guitarists, especially beginners and even a lot of intermediates, hold the pick in a way that works against them. So the goal is not perfection. The goal is to hold a pick in a way that gives you control, consistency, better tone, and less tension. Because if your grip fights against your hand, everything becomes a lot harder than it needs to be. This is probably the biggest one. A lot of guitarists hold the pick like this, with a lot of pick sticking out. And at first it feels normal because you'd think, well, surely more pick means it's easier to hit the string. But actually, too much pick sticking out creates more resistance against the string. So what happens? Your pick gets caught more easily. Your timing becomes less accurate. Fast playing feels clumsy, and your hand has to work harder just to get through the strings. So instead, you usually want less of the pick showing. Not completely buried, but just enough to catch the string cleanly. A small amount of pick exposed gives you more control, makes everything feel tighter and more efficient. This is another massive one. A lot of players grip the pick like their life depends on it. Everything tightens up. And again, it makes sense why people do it, because they're trying the hardest not to drop it. But if you squeeze too hard, you create tension through your fingers, through the hand, through the wrist, and sometimes even up through your forearm. And tension kills good picking. It kills speed, it kills feel, and it kills timing. And it usually makes your playing sound a bit harsh as well. You want the grip to be secure, but not death grip tight. Think of it like this. You want enough pressure so that the pick stays in place, but not so much pressure that your whole hand becomes rigid and tight. That balance is where better picking starts happening. Another reason a lot of people struggle is the angle of the pick. A lot of guitarists hit the string completely flat in a way that creates drag. Now, sometimes that's fine depending on the sound you want, but for a lot of players, especially when they're trying to strum smoothly or pick faster, an angle actually slightly helps brush through the string better. Instead of the pick smashing straight into the string, it glides through it and cuts through it. That can instantly make your picking feel smoother and less stuck. So if your pick feels like it's constantly catching on the strings, experiment with turning it slightly. Not loads, just a little. Small change, big difference. Using the wrong part of the hand. This one's huge, and loads of players don't think about it. Sometimes the problem isn't just the fingers, it's where the movement comes from. A lot of guitarists try to do everything from big tense finger movements, or they lock the wrist and start flapping the elbow for everything. And that usually makes your picking a lot less efficient. For most situations, you want to feel fairly small and controlled, with the wrist doing a lot of the work. Not forced, not robotic, just efficient. When your picking movement is too big, everything becomes harder to control. Remember, the strings are this close together. So if your hand looks like it's doing a full body workout just to play one riff, that's probably a big part of the issue. So how should you hold it? Well, a really good starting point is this. Place the pick on the side of your finger, not on the pad of your finger. On the side of your finger, bring it round, the pick should be pointing the same way as your finger, and then place the thumb across it. It does go on the padding of the thumb, but it does not go on the padding of the finger. It goes on the side of it. So you don't hold it on that bit, you hold it on the side of your finger. And how much of the pick should you have showing? Well, if you're picking, then that much. If you're strumming, a tiny bit more if you want to. That's the basic grip I'd recommend most players start with. From there, only let a bit of the pick stick out. Keep the grip firm but relaxed, and let the hand stay loose enough to move naturally. That alone will solve a lot of people's issues. And then from there, you can make small adjustments depending on what you're playing. Because the grip you use for heavy rhythm guitar might be a little bit different from the grip that you use for delicate strumming, and that might feel a bit different from lead guitar. That's normal, but if your grip is unstable, tense, or inefficient, everything built on top of it becomes messy. Here's a simple test. Play something easy, maybe a scale, maybe a riff, maybe just one note alternate picked on a string. Then ask yourself, does the pick feel like it's catching too much? Does my hand feel tense? Does it feel harder than it should? Am I losing control as I speed up? Does my tone sound inconsistent from note to note? If your answer is yes to a lot of that, then your pick hold probably needs work. And here's the important bit. Don't try to fix it by just trying harder. Trying harder with bad mechanics usually just makes the problem worse. You need to adjust the mechanics first. This stuff matters so much because it's one of those foundational things in guitar playing. It's literally the second thing that I teach after posture. If your pick hold is off, it affects your rhythm, it affects your lead playing, your speed, your accuracy, your dynamics, your tone, and how relaxed you feel when you play. So sometimes the reason a guitarist feels stuck is not because they need a new exercise. It's because they're building everything on top of a weak foundation. And once you improve that foundation, suddenly lots of other things start improving as well. That's why this stuff matters. It's not just about how the pick looks in your hand, it's about how the whole machine works. So why do most guitarists hold the pick wrong? Usually because no one ever properly shows them. They just pick one up, do what feels natural, and then just keep reinforcing that habit over years. And sometimes what feels natural at first is exactly what causes problems later. So if your picking has always felt awkward, inconsistent, tense, or limited, don't ignore it. Have a proper look at your grip, because a small fix can make a big difference everywhere else. If you want, comment below and tell me what you struggle with the most when it comes to picking. Speed, accuracy, tension, string skipping, whatever it is. And if you want more videos that actually help you play better rather than just throwing random tips at you, subscribe to my channel.